Hi, this is just a small collection of miscellaneous and bizarre, funny record album, 33 1/3 record album covers. And this first one here I thought was kind of funny, a kind of parody on the American Gothic painting with Lyndon and Lady Bird Johnson from the 60s. This is the Hula Hoop Polka, when the hula hoop craze in the late 50s was on. This is a real classic from the 50s, Christopher Recordings on Sex Instruction, a helpful guide for parents. Here's Spike Jones in stereo, a spooktacular in screaming sound, hi-fi, and it's got the voices of Vampire on there, and a really good kind of a haunted kind of a cover on there. You know, this album's so good I actually had to go and get two of them. This is one of the Dance Craze records that was put out in the 60s, and this Dance Craze particularly was called Let Kiss, and it was like the polka, but you kissed, I guess, towards the end of the song. Kind of like how they did in Sun Valley Serenade with Glenn Miller, one of the songs, the Kiss Polka. So it just goes to show what goes around comes around, because this is like 25 years later and they had a new dance like that. This record's kind of an interesting piece. You basically act the scenes opposite your favorite star. So the star says something in the script, and then the record is blank for you to respond. This is kind of really an interesting take on, kind of like a little twist on karaoke. There's a quick shot of the script that's included with the album. Here's a similar type of deal from 1962. You're the star performer on these versions of the songs at the top of the charts. And it's basically karaoke from 1962, the Music Minus One series. This album cover always cracks me up. Christmas Day with Colonel Sanders. This album is really bizarre and really funny. The New York Taxi Driver, and it's spontaneous in the cab recordings, as recorded by Tony Schwartz, and it's really interesting. It's very funny too. It's from the 60s. There's a classic from 1960, Hear How to Plan the Perfect Dinner Party. This one I also found quite funny. They actually came out with an album, Music to Write Letters By, and it's volume 1, so it's quite possible there was a volume 2. So I guess whenever you write a letter, you know what to put on. Now here's a vintage classic, How to Strip for Your Husband, Music to Make Marriage Merrier. Must have been a hit because we have more How to Strip for Your Husband, Volume 2. Cracks me up, they actually had an instruction booklet included with the album. Here's one of those local records put out, Christmas in Cleveland. This would be from the 50s. The reason I included this, especially on the back cover, I noticed Lucille E. Hill, and anyone who's from the Camps Corners area, grew up in the Camps Corners area or so, probably had Lucy Hill babysit them in the 60s and 70s, if not later than that. But she was a wonderful woman, and I was shocked to see her on the back of the cover there. This is probably one of the most bizarre albums I've ever owned. It's called Rock and Other Four-Letter Words, and I don't even know how to describe it. It's like a conglomeration of sounds, and has a cast of thousands and rock stars and just all different little sound bites. And it's a great period piece from 1968. And finally, a great cover to one of Rudy Ray Moore's albums, The Comedian. You know, I love the old Dolomite movies, and his record albums are just terrific, and I just love this cover. Just a little closer look of the cover. You know, I actually had to put a little sticker in there because they were showing a little too much there, and I didn't want this video to get thrown off. Well, anyway, I want to thank you so much for watching this video. I certainly had a great time making it, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks again. Bye-bye.